Luke chapter 17, Increase Our Faith. Camille Harlow's living room had the kind of quiet that did not ask anyone to perform. 2 lamps, not the overhead, a low table with open Bibles, a pitcher of water, and a plate of cookies someone had brought without making a speech about it. The window was cracked enough for street sound to stay polite. Coats were already over chair backs. They were 6, which felt like enough. Camille waited until Pages found 17. "No rush," she said. "We're in Luke. Travel section still. Last week's left weather in the air. Tonight is the next stretch of road." Rena Soto tucked 1 foot under herself and smiled the way people smile when a room has already decided not to punish honesty. Jordan Vale kept his thumb in the margin and did not pretend he was fine with the chapter. Wes Calder had a pencil behind his ear like a man ready to mark problems. Nadine Okello's notebook was open, not as a weapon. A few lines already written in a hand that looked like homework done with care. Theo and Wynne sat with both palms around a glass he had not drunk from yet, listening the way people listen when they have been under water before. Camille nodded at the open pages. 1 through 10 first. Who'll take it? Wes read without theater. Stumbling blocks, woe, rebuke, forgive, even 7 times in a day. Then the apostles' line, plain as a receipt. Increase our faith. Mustard seed, mulberry tree, servant from the field, supper first, then we are unworthy servants. We have only done what was our duty. When he finished, the lamps hummed faintly. Jordan let out a breath that was almost a laugh and almost not. "There it is. That's me. I read that and I want to raise my hand like them. Increase it. Give me more. I don't even know what I'm asking for half the time. I just know it doesn't feel like enough." Rena's eyes stayed soft. She did not rush to fix him. Camille did not either. "Keep that on the table. It's an honest sentence." Wes tapped the page, not unkind. "Honest, and then the chapter loses me. Forgiveness, then mustard seed, then servants, then later lepers, then kingdom talk, then Noah and Lot and people taken and left. It feels like someone shuffled cards. If faith is the theme, why does it keep changing clothes?" Nadine glanced at her notebook, then at Wes, then at the group as if asking permission without words. Camille gave the smallest nod. "I did a study," Nadine said. "Not on Luke 17 only. On what faith looks like when people actually have to move. I don't want to dump it, but Jordan said more, and I keep hearing Hebrews under that. Faith isn't only a feeling you stack higher. It's coming to God, believing He is, and that He rewards those who seek Him. And in the stories, it keeps looking like listening, then going forward when He speaks." Jordan's mouth tightened, not in anger, in effort. "So I'm asking for the wrong thing?" "I don't think you're asking in bad faith," Nadine said. "I think more is what you say when the connection feels thin." Theo's glass made a soft sound against the table as he set it down. Camille opened to the middle of the chapter without leaving 17. "Let's stay in the text before we solve each other. 11 through 19, lepers. Rena?" Rena read, "Border road, 10 men at a distance, mercy, priests, cleansing on the way, 1 turning back, Samaritan, thanks, where are the 9, your faith has made you well." The plate of cookies moved an inch closer to the center, and no one claimed credit. Wes exhaled. "See? Another scene, new clothes again." "Or the same answer in a different room," Camille said mild. "Keep going. 20 to the end, kingdom and the days of the Son of Man. Theo, if you're willing." Theo read carefully, not fast, not with observation. "In your midst, lightning, suffering first. Noah, Lot, do not turn back. Lot's wife, life kept and lost, 1 taken and 1 left. Where, Lord?" Silence held, not empty, loading. Jordan rubbed the edge of the page with his thumb. "If I came in wanting more faith like more fuel, this chapter will not fill the tank the way I want. It keeps handing me work. Forgive, serve, go, thank. Don't turn around for your stuff when the day comes." "That's what was bugging me," Wes said. "I wanted a single sermon outline. Instead, I got a travel day." Nadine's pencil stopped. In Exodus, when the sea is in front and Pharaoh behind, the people panic even after God already told them what He would do. Moses says, "Stand still," and God says, "Why are you crying to me? Tell them to go forward, stretch out your hand." Faith wasn't a speech that made the fear pretty. It was movement when God spoke, and later, when Moses strikes the rock the way he did before, Instead of speaking the way God said this time, listening now, not last time's method, I wrote that down because I fail it. Rena looked at Jordan, not pinning him. Does go forward feel like more faith? Or like a different kind of ask? Jordan was quiet long enough that the street outside filled one full breath. It feels like I wanted volume. Jesus keeps talking about a live link, something that holds while you walk. Camille let that sit. Then she turned back to verse 5 with 2 fingers. What if the apostles' request is the hinge, not a random middle line? Increase our faith. And what if everything around it is Jesus answering, without handing them a bigger object to put in a pocket? Wes frowned at the page, then less. So 1 through 4 isn't a different topic. It's faith that can stay in a room with people who sin against you 7 times before dinner. And 5 through 10, Camille said, isn't magic landscaping. Mustard seed is quality, not a warehouse. Duty is faith that doesn't wait to be applauded into existence. Nadine nodded once. David couldn't walk in Saul's armor. Faith isn't gear someone else straps on you. You still have to step. Theo's voice stayed low. And the leper who came back, 10 got clean. 1 stayed in the connection long enough to say thank you. That doesn't sound like a bigger tank. That sounds like a link that didn't drop the moment the crisis eased. Wes leaned back. Kingdom in the midst. Not look here, look there, and then don't turn back when the day arrives. If I came for a stack of maxims, I was reading like a man hunting sections. If I come for an answer to increase our faith, the road holds. Jordan's eyes shone the way eyes do when relief and work arrive together. So I'm not crazy for wanting more. I'm just naming the thin place. And he's not shaming the ask. He's training the connection. Rena's mouth tilted. This room can hold thin places. That's why we come. Camille opened another page without leaving the night's weather. Paul's letter, the love chapter people quote at weddings and then stop too early. Can I put something next to Luke without making Paul explain Luke? Same Lord, different letter. No one objected. Prophecies pass away, tongues cease, knowledge passes away, Camille said, finger under the lines. Faith is not on that list of things that fail. Then, now faith, hope, and love abide, these 3. Jordan leaned in. So faith isn't temporary like a showy gift. It remains, Camille said, and I think it changes. On the road, faith is direct connection to God across a distance we still feel, like a tether while we don't yet see face to face. We walk by faith, not by sight. In His full presence, you don't need the tether across absence the same way. The connection doesn't die. The gap mode ends. It's just there. Theo's shoulders lowered a fraction. Hope, Camille went on, still calm, is for things to come. It remains too, and it changes into possession. What you waited for is held. Waiting isn't proven false. It's fulfilled. Wes scratched a note, then stopped, as if the pencil had caught up. Increase our faith, answered by a chapter of tether work, not a bigger coil of rope in the abstract. Forgiveness, duty, thanks, readiness. And someday the rope feel isn't the point, because you're home. Nadine closed her notebook halfway, not shutting the night. That matches what I kept finding. Faith looks like seeking Him, hearing Him, moving, even when the method isn't last year's method, not a gadget from a shelf of things that pass away. Jordan swallowed. I still want more some days. I know, Camille said. Wanting more can be the honest name for the link feels strained. Bring that here. Don't fake a full tank. Theo looked at the water pitcher, then at no one in particular. I keep thinking about Peter on the water. Not to steal Luke's road, same question family. He's walking, connection holding, then wind, fear. He sinks. I used to hear little faith like a grade. Lately I hear, the tether broke, not zero faith as a person. The live link failed under pressure. I left Jesus for the storm. Rena's hand rested open on the table, not reaching to manage him. And Jesus doesn't wait for Peter to retie the rope alone, Theo said. Immediate hand. When the tether breaks, He doesn't. Jordan's laugh was quiet and wet at the edges. So my, give me more, and Peter's sinking in this whole scrambled-looking chapter, they might all be about whether the connection holds and who holds us when it doesn't. Camille's eyes were bright without preaching. Luke 17 won't let faith stay a private score. It puts it on a road with people who offend you, work that isn't glamorous, mercy that asks for thanks, a kingdom already among you, and a day you must not meet facing backward. Paul won't let faith sit on the list of things that cease. Peter won't let us pretend the tether never snaps, or that snapping is the end of the story. Wes closed his Bible on one finger, marking the place. I can live with a chapter that was never disjointed, only unread as an answer. Nadine smiled, small. And I can leave most of my study in the bag. The room didn't need the whole file. It needed the pieces that served the link. Rena looked around the circle. Anyone need to say something true before we pray? Jordan did not perform courage. He only said, I still want more some mornings. Tonight I want the connection more than the measurement. Theo nodded once. Camille, let the lamps and the open window and the ordinary cookies be enough of a cathedral? Then we pray as people on a road, not as people who already arrived. They prayed. Her words were short. No one had to sound finished. When Coach found shoulders again, Luke 17 still sat on the table like a map that had finally admitted it was one road. Outside, a car passed. Inside, the tether talk stayed without needing a slogan on the door. Camille stacked 2 Bibles without erasing what had happened. Same room next week, she said. Bring your thin places. We'll keep reading. Jordan paused at the door. Increase our faith, he said, almost to himself, almost as thanks. Wes, behind him, answered without irony. And he did, just not the way I first ordered it.